Okay, folks, Andrew Bopros here. I'm going to do a quick video on, it's going to be a pretty controversial video. Let me make that very clear. Trey Lance being traded. Ooh, you guys hate me now, don't you? I get it. I get it. He's done great in preseason. I'm going to give some thoughts on this. I think it's interesting. Again, you don't like what I say, leave a comment down below. Plenty to talk about in this video, guys. As always, let's get into it. Okay, folks, as always, like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. I'm Andrew Bopros. Well, you might be saying, Andrew, I hate your guts right now. We are not going to trade Trey Lance. Look, I think we probably won't trade Trey. Let me make that very clear. I don't think we will trade Trey Lance. But having said that, I think there's a good chance teams are going to come knocking. And there's an opportunity for us to potentially go get more draft picks. Next year, we only have 6 draft picks. Comp picks do not look good right now. I was just looking at it earlier today. We're not getting one for Christian Fulton, not getting one for Josh Palmer, not getting one for Poona Ford. I mean, it's pretty much a wash for us this year. So we got 6 picks next year, and it doesn't look good. So, and again, George Tease has said he wants more bites of the apple, and unfortunately, it's not looking awesome. So ask yourself this question. Trey Lance, if we got a 3rd round pick, would you trade him? You got a 4th round pick, would you trade him? I don't even know if we'd get one that high. 5th round pick, who knows, right? But my point is he's looked good enough that there are teams out there in the NFL that don't have a good backup quarterback, or really their quarterback they have is not great and probably being overpaid. Like I can think of a lot of teams that are like that right now. And that's my point, right? Again, we traded for Taylor Heinicke last year, and Jim Harbaugh has said he likes him. Greg Roman likes him. He did not look great in the game that he played against the Saints, but there's an opportunity for him to play. I want to make a blanket statement. One blanket statement. Again, this is me. This is 100% me and 100% my bias. I don't like running quarterbacks. I don't like running quarterbacks because they get hurt, right? Look at Lamar Jackson. Look at Kyler Murray. I get it. They're exciting. They're great for the fans. They everyone loves watching them out there running the ball. Oh, this is great. This is great. But look, they get banged up. They get banged up. And so, again, another reason why I think Justin Herbert's probably going to use his leg very seldomly this year. But he might, right? We want to keep Justin Herbert healthy. So, again, if the argument is Taylor Heinicke hits his number, he's the number 2, then we might go for there. Now, this conversation could be interesting too, because we might say, no, we're keeping Trey Lance. I'm okay trading away Taylor Heinicke. And that even might happen as well too. Taylor Heinicke has a lot of clout. He's started a lot of games in the NFL this season as well too. So this could also just not be a Trey Lance conversation. This could also be a Taylor Heinicke conversation. Because the argument is we're only going to really have one backup anyways. And I do think DJ Uiagalelei, if we obviously trade someone away, he's probably just going to be on the practice squad, and I think he'll be fine. But he's looked pretty good in camp as well too. So, again, there's a lot of things that can happen with this. But if the argument is we have more value with Trey Lance, then maybe we just keep Taylor Heinicke. If not, we might say, now we want to keep Trey Lance. Let's trade away Taylor Heinicke. Again, I'm really curious how this plays out. I don't think we're going to keep both of them. I think one is going to leave. So, again, that's my opinion. Agree or disagree with me, leave a comment down below. So let's talk about the teams and why they may matter as well. First one, we just played the Saints. They are going to suck. There's no real other word to describe them. I do not expect them to be a good team this year. I personally think Spencer Rattler is not a very good quarterback. Tyler Shuck, their rookie, is probably going to be the starter, in my opinion. At least he looked better than Spencer Rattler in this game. Of course, he made some bad mistakes as well, some bad throws. I think he threw 2 picks, if I remember correctly. But my point is there is a lot to be said about their team, right? And, again, we all know that Kellen Moore really likes to throw the ball. He's a spread type of, offensive coordinator. And, it'd be really interesting to see how it plays out with this team in general. I don't suspect look, they got a lot of problems. I think for a team that might want to go out and get a veteran guy for a year or two, lock him up a little bit, this could be an opportunity for, Trey Lance to maybe be the starter, right? Like right out of the gate, which could be really interesting. I'm very curious to see how the Saints progress. So that would be my number 1 landing spot for them. And, we'll kind of see how that plays out. Now, I do not like Kyler Murray. I have never sugarcoated that conversation. I do not think he's a great quarterback. I think he's better than I'll ever be, obviously, but I look at him and I see a locker room guy that's a problem. I just see a lot of issues with him in general. I am not a fan of him at all. Now, I do think that he could be a great backup for Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray has a lot of money left in his contract. I don't even want to look it up. He's being way overpaid at this point. But he's a Kyler Murray type. You wouldn't have to change the offense a whole lot. You could just go with what he does, and you'd be fine. But he would be a very solid backup for Kyler Murray. And if Kyler Murray starts sucking, guess what? We might start Trey Lance this week. Literally not even joking. I think it's not a bad idea because then you can have a little bit of that quarterback controversy. Competitors welcome is always a good thing with Kyler Murray. I think he's a little bit on the conceited side, and I think he needs a little bit of a shakeup. Anyways, my opinion of him is very low, and I do think that Trey Lance would be a nice fit for them as well. Now, this one's an interesting one as well. Justin Fields, I think he's getting paid $20 million. Am I correct on that? I thought that's what he was getting paid. That's a lot of freaking money. And I mean, like, that's a lot of damn money. And I think Justin Fields is good, but I don't think he's worth $20 million. I mean, holy crap, that's crazy. So the Jets fan base, as we all know, is pretty rabid, and they want to see some wins. And I'll tell you right now, if Justin Fields starts struggling, boy, you're going to want somebody who can step in there and, all right, well, let's try Trey Lance out. Let's see what he does, right? So, look, he needs a good, valuable backup. I think he could be a nice fit for them. But, boy, Justin Fields, $20 million. Am I right? Leave a comment down below. I'm pretty sure it's $20 million, which is crazy. I think he's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's worth that. I mean, like, we signed Trey Lance for like 1.5. I think it's guaranteed money, right? So he's a cheap contract at the moment. So, anyways, so I just, he needs a valuable backup, similar physical traits. I can really see it happening. Anyways, makes sense to me. Okay, now this one's a little bit controversial, but I'm going to say this. The Browns are a train wreck. I don't foresee them being a good team at all this year. They way overpaid for Myles Garrett. By the way, they didn't overpay for him. He's a fantastic edge rusher. He's going to make his bags, but, dude, that team's going absolutely nowhere. They're going to be in the dumpsters. And Shedeur Sanders, I mean, again, he's like Kyler Murray. I have a very low opinion of him. I don't know that I think he's even going to – it didn't surprise me that he dropped in the draft the way he did. It did not surprise me. I think in a lot of ways there are character issues with him as well. Now, Trey Lance is not that guy, right? He's not a character issue guy. But I could see him potentially show up with the Browns and potentially push Shedeur Sanders for a starting position. I really, truly believe it could happen. I think if Trey Lance were there, it'd be a better fit for him. Because in a weird way, I don't really think Trey Lance 100% fits with what the Chargers do, right? Because Justin Herbert's really become more of a pocket passer. But I think Trey Lance fits in very well with what they would do offensively with Shedeur Sanders, if that makes sense. So, again, my opinion, I think it could be an interesting one. And again, they are in like a rotation of quarterbacks over there like I've never seen before my entire life. It's absolutely insane. So I'm excited to see what happens with that. I'm curious to see what the Browns do moving forward. And finally, you might say, well, Andrew, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, he's amazing. Look, I don't know that their backup situation's amazing. And I really don't know that, again, Trey Lance would fit in very well with the Ravens because, he's a very similar type of quarterback to a Lamar Jackson. Again, I am not a fan of running quarterbacks. I've said this 100 times. I've said this 100 times in this video. They get hurt. Lamar Jackson is the perfect example of that. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's good in the pocket. He's good enough in the pocket. I think he's gotten better over time, but he's really valuable at using his legs. And again, go back to Trey Lance's the last game against the Saints. He ran it 3 times for a touchdown, but his passing numbers were pretty bad, right? So it was like 50 yards passing and 50 yards rushing. So again, I think long-term running quarterbacks don't work out well in the NFL. And I think Lamar Jackson's a perfect example. By the time he gets to the playoffs, he's banged up. He can't do anything. And it is what it is, right? I mean, he's great during the season, but, you just can't quite put it together in the playoffs sometimes, So, look, I think Trey Lance would also fit in very well here too. So, interesting conversations. I know this is going to be a controversial video. You're going to say, Andrew, I hate your guts. Okay. Am I way off base here? Do you think I'm crazy? I personally think, again, I'm just going to wrap up, land my thoughts. I don't think we keep Taylor Heinicke and Trey Lance. I just don't think it happens. I think they're both too valuable. I think both people have too much value in the NFL right now. I think after this next game, or even right before the season, I think one of those two will be traded away. Now, it'll be interesting to see if we just keep Taylor Heinicke, trade away Trey Lance, or trade away Taylor Heinicke and keep Trey Lance. Who knows? I'm very curious to see how that plays out. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. I know there's going to be some hate mail, yada, yada. I get it. I'm ready for that smoke. Send it down. As always, Andrew Bolt Bros. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night.